Hello and welcome to Tabletop Games in Burwood, Melbourne. I'm here with Leonard, who is a keen Twilight Imperium 4 player. Can you tell me a little bit about the game?
Yeah, Twilight Imperium is having its 25th anniversary this year, and we're in the 4th edition now, and the game designer wanted an epic space opera game. And so it has a great combination of economy, warfare, and politics. Games tend to run around 8 hours, sometimes shorter, sometimes longer. But it is probably best in class for strategy games. It's ranked number 5 on Board Game Geek out of their 30,000 odd games, but it is the highest rated strategy game.
You mentioned the playtime, which is 8 hours, which is going to instantly turn a lot of people off, but also a lot of people's ears are going to sort of prick up with that sort of epic scale of game. Do you like that more than playing, a couple of 2 or 3 hour games? What's your preference?
Yeah, I think I've been playing the game for a few years now, and what I enjoy about the game is I learn something new in every game. The components are so wide and deep that you can approach it at a shallow level, but as you play the game more, you learn more of the components. You can count cards. And that attracts me because I'm constantly challenged. It's not overwhelming for me, but it is. New reveals every game.
So the length of the game is also sort of matched with its depth that you can go.
Yeah, and you get some pretty serious players. Like if you're going to get people to commit to that length of a game, they're pretty serious. But we usually play split sessions if we're playing on Tabletop Simulator. If we're playing online where we can save the game, we'll play multiple sessions, maybe 3 to 5 hours per session. Maybe this recurring on a Tuesday night, for example. But if we're playing in person, like we go for it. And I hosted a game recently. A good friend of mine flew out from Brisbane, so we got the locals together to host him, and it was a high caliber table. We started at 8 a.m. and the game finished at 1 a.m. And nobody, we took 30 minutes for lunch. We were moving the game along. That was exceptional.
That is a long day, but I'm sure it's something that's going to live on in your memory for a long time.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about what's happening today?
Sure. So what's happening today, I believe, is the largest Twilight Imperium 4 in-person tournament in the Southern Hemisphere. I just love saying that. We have almost 50 people. I think we're at maybe 46. And so if I back up a little bit, a couple of years ago, I started a Discord server, Cool Guys Hideout. And the reason I started it was because there is a North American server, which at the time was 7,000 members, now is over 10,000 members. But it's predominantly North American and European time zones. And I'm an American living in Australia, and I know how difficult it is to coordinate with North Americans on a different day with their time zone, and they just don't get it. And so I didn't want to continually schedule with the American audience. I wanted a local time zone gaming group. And so we started the Discord server, and we, in those 2 years, we've grown to, I think today we're at about 570 members. And last October, we had organized an in-person tournament like this, which unfortunately 2 days before got shut down for lockdown. So this is our second go at that. We had 36 people for that one, then we had to refund them. So today is, 46 odd people playing in games of 5 or 6 people. We're playing 10-point games. The winner of each game will win a gift certificate to Tabletop Games, our beautiful hosts. And then tomorrow we have a championship game where all the winners are going to play, and we're also going to have pickup games for others. It's important to note that we have people who've traveled from Sydney, Brisbane, Canberra, and Auckland. So we are international, we're multi-state, we've got some pretty serious, fun people who are pretty serious about playing the game.
It is now almost 1 p.m. How is your game going?
My game's going all right. So I'm playing this faction SAR, which is notorious for eating their neighbors. And I am eating my neighbor's slice. There's an element of a Euro game build in this game, but there's also potential for warfare. my faction is geared towards warfare. And so unfortunately, someone I haven't met before is sitting on my left, and it's easier to go to left than it is to go right, and so I'm moving into a slice. However, there are some very experienced people at the table, and they are doing everything they can to feed him militarily, monetarily, so that he can counter my efforts.
Well, best of luck, and thank you very much for sort of talking about the day in the game.
Thank you. Thank you guys for coming out. And if anyone's interested in joining us, it's Cool Guys Hideout on Discord. We have a very effective ranking system where new people can come in and self-nominate themselves as novices or acolytes or zealots, depending on how many games they've played. They get a green tag, so everybody else in the Discord knows they're a newer player, and we are doing our best to welcome them and not destroy them in games. Then once you win a 6-player game that is organized and plays through our Discord, you get veteran status, and we have veteran 1, 2, 3, and 4. To go to a veteran 2, you have to have all vet 1s or above in your game. To go to vet 3, you have to have all vet 2 or above in your game, and it's sort of a slow-moving tournament. That system has worked really well because we also have an academy. Usually Monday and Wednesday nights, we have 2 to 3 sensei whose job it is to just play friendly, open discussion games with new people. So if people want to learn how to play this game, they want to, maybe they want to play one session and that's it. Hey, that's fine. We'd rather you tried it and then find out it's not for you than overcommit to something.
Yeah, it's certainly a game, having only played once, keen to play more, but only played once, it certainly is a game that I think you do need to experience if you're in the hobby, just to sort of get a sense of the scale of the game. And obviously it's great that there's sort of an inviting place to help sort of continue to play, build up skill, and also meet cool people.
Yeah, and that said, we do have some some vet 3s, some vet 2s who will only play against the highest ranked people. They are fiercely competitive, and there is an element. There is a way to play the game, which is point blocking. So while everyone's trying to, some people will play let all boats rise together. Let's all be friendly. Let's all get rich together. Some people there is a subset of people who play let's knock everybody down and don't let anyone get up.
Yeah, I mean, coming from a Magic background, I get the sort of player who thinks it's a zero-sum game and they have to have all the fun. That's fine every so often, I think.
We have room for everybody, and then the idea is that we have room for everybody, and we have the social structures in place so that everybody could have a good time, because that's what we want to do.
Excellent. Thank you very much.